In the last few months, North Carolina has become a haven for abortion access in the South. It is one of the few states in that region that hasn't restricted it since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June. Abortion is legal in North Carolina up to 20 weeks of pregnancy. In neighboring South Carolina, a ban starting at 6 weeks has been temporarily blocked. CBS News got exclusive access inside a clinic in Raleigh, where a flood of patients is coming from out of state. Huey Burns shows us how this trend could affect key political contests in November.
What you need?
Kelly Flynn runs a woman's choice clinic in Raleigh, which has been flooded with calls.
We were at like 1,500 calls a week, and now we're up to like 2,500 calls a week from patients coming from out of state.
Before the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, roughly 35% of patients treated at this clinic were from out of state. Now, with most neighboring states restricting or banning abortion, the clinic says that number stands at 56%.
No, we just helped a patient from Alabama last week. They drove a 10-and-a-half-hour trip to make sure they were at the clinic at 9 o'clock that morning.
10.5 hours.
Each way.
And that is typical now.
Yep. And so we have patients here today that came from Florida and one came from Georgia, and they have to drive back today.
It's an issue resonating with Democratic voters.
I have friends who are opening their doors to people in border states who can't have a safe and legal procedure, and you just pray that it doesn't happen here, but it's definitely a real possibility if people don't come out and vote.
The fate of abortion access here in North Carolina all depends on what happens in the legislature. Republicans have a majority there, but they don't yet have enough seats to override a veto from the Democratic governor. That could all change after November's elections.
In North Carolina's tight U.S. Senate race, Democratic nominee Sherry Beasley hopes the stakes will drive voter turnout.
You know, it certainly is very important, Caitlin. I can certainly tell you that even in the smallest rural communities, regardless of party affiliation, people want to talk about abortion access.
And I'm going to work and I'm going to vote to stop inflation.
But Beasley's opponent, Congressman Ted Budd, who supports federal abortion restrictions, believes the election will hinge on the economy. And his supporters agree.
We need our gas prices down. We need our grocery prices down.
North Carolina Republican pollster Paul Shoemaker says there's little upside for GOP candidates like Budd to engage on the issue of abortion.
Keep the discussion about the economy. Don't have the discussion about the abortion issue because, quite frankly, he runs a risk of stepping on his base enthusiasm for turning out.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Huey Burns, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Huey Burns, thank you.